All right, everybody, welcome to the call today. This is Scott Pierce at Listings to Leads. Good to see everybody. So many people on the call. Good to see everybody. Today, we're going to be covering a couple of things. One is how to market listings, so an active listing. We also do the calls specifically for open house, just listed, and then pending and sold. So we do different webinars every Monday. Yeah, every Monday we do a different status. So today we're doing the active listing, and I call this the deal of the week. I was just listening to a call from another client, and he was talking about making sure every week you want that deal of the week because it's a great touch point with your database, with your audience. And so we're going to walk through that today because I see too many times when people talk about marketing that deal of the week or they talk about marketing a listing, it's very one or two dimensional. And there's so many more ways you can get a lot of great use out of that listing. So we're going to talk about that today and how to make sure that every week we've got either, whether you call it a deal of the week or the new listing of the week, we just want to make sure that our audience is seeing new property listings from us and not just the standard IDX, your listing updates and all that, but something specifically from us that is from us that is talking to them in a way that's going to get a little bit more engagement than the standard MLS or IDX update or from Zillow or something even worse than that. We don't want that kind of stuff. We want them coming to us when they think about getting a real estate deal or getting good property. We want them to come to us. And so this idea of making sure that every single week we are marketing a listing, ours or borrowed, all right, even if we don't have a listing, 95% of you should have absolutely no problem of getting your quote unquote deal of the week to market so that people think and they come to us, right, when it's related to real estate. The second thing I might cover today, if we have time, is the price reduced landing page. This is a custom landing page that I created in my account. We are going to be adding these at some point to the system, but it takes about 5 minutes to create. And so I'm going to walk through this today as well. Got a couple of these ads running for a client, and man, one of them, he got 3 great leads, and all 3 leads actually have a home. So as the leads came in, he looked them up and found that all 3 of them that opted in on this landing page via the Facebook ad all live in the area, all had good phone numbers, all had a property to sell. Now, whether or not they were going to sell the property, who knows? But regardless, you get my point there. And this is a great landing page. So this is from Listings to Leads. And you can see here, price reduced homes. This is all customizable. Get the list now. And then we've added some custom questions, right? Which list do you want? And there's a reason why I've got it set up like this. And name and email. I'll add the phone number field on the next one that I create for this call. And then in the follow-up for this, there's no autoresponder. So the only way they're going to get that list of price reduced homes is if and when they respond to either a phone call or a text. And the phone call or the text is going to be where we just want to find out what is the price range. So we don't ask for all the information right here. We want to ask for enough information to get them interested, to get them bought into this, to get them really wanting it. But then we're going to follow up with just want to get the price range that you're looking for to make sure that I don't overwhelm you with a bunch of listings that aren't appropriate. And so the follow up is a service call to further hone down that list a bit so that we're making sure that we're going to get them the right homes that they want to see. So between the landing page, the ad, we got an email that we're going to do to our database. So like with anything else that we do, when we got a great idea, like price reduced homes for sale, we're not going to limit it to just a post or an ad. We're going to do a bunch of other things with it as well. So we'll come back to that after we talk about how to market a listing. So we're going to walk through again how to market a listing, whether it's yours or borrowed, and whether it's in the context of a deal of the week or it's just a listing that you've got to market. So let's go to listingstoleads.com. Go ahead and log into your account. When you log in, you'll be on the dashboard. I am going to click listings. So there's a tab here called listings. And if you need help to get the listing into your account, let our support team know. If you're going to borrow a listing, so again, you don't have a listing and you get permission to market a listing from another agent. The easy way to add that might be to go add listing, grab, And all you have to do is put in the zip code and MLS ID number. If it's your listing, go ahead and just keep that box checked where it says, this is my listing, and click grab. If it is a listing that you're going to borrow, uncheck that and then click grab. And this way we don't create the YouTube video and a few of the other tools that are for listing agents only. And then we'll also put the listing courtesy of information in there as well. So if you have any questions on that, let me know or get with our support team. And in fact, one thing before we get into marketing that listing, one thing I'm going to talk a little bit more about this going forward. But if you go to listing presentation, so right there in your account, listing presentation flipbook, if you are not overly familiar with all the tools that you've got in listing leads, this can be a great thing to take a look at. And so here, in fact, let me see here. Give me a second. Let me click view. I'm going to open up that flipbook. There we go. Going through this flipbook for the listing presentation might be a great way for you as an agent to get a great overview of the marketing that you can do for the listing with your listing leads account. So real briefly, and this is also great so that when you are in the listing presentation, that you're going to be a lot smoother, you're going to be a lot more comfortable, you'll be a lot better at presenting this. So let's a little bit of an aside here. Let me know what you think about this. But if you just take a look at this together, we're going to do a paid Facebook ad. All right, so paid Facebook and Instagram ad. You see there on the left. We got the social media marketing. So that's our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, Google My Business, social media postings. There would be a YouTube video for the listing agents. All right, so we automatically create a YouTube listing video. And even if you do professional videos, 3D tours, your short videos, all of those, you still want to do this because of the SEO. A lot of times this YouTube video that we do will end up on page 1 of Google. And as much as we can knock out Zillow and Realtor.com and all these other websites, the better. So again, even if you're doing professional videos, still do this one so that we get more opportunity to get you on page 1 of Google for that listing. We got the print marketing. So we got postcards and door hangers. We've got the nearby homeowner letter, which is probably one of the #1 tools in the industry. Just had a client a couple of weeks ago, sent out 100 letters, got 4 seller leads off of it. Absolutely awesome. We got the email marketing. So we got the email that we're going to send out to our database, letting them know about the property. And that email is specifically designed to engage both buyers and sellers in our database. We've got so it's almost the same thing. Then we got the seller sphere of influence. So we've got the tools for the seller, which are absolutely amazing. Sellers love them because sellers want to make sure that they're showing off their for sale listing to as many people as possible. So sellers absolutely love these tools for the seller sphere of influence. And I'll walk you through how to get that post and how to get the email to them. We got a short form video script. We've got the single property websites and virtual tours, like you see to the left or to the right page. We got the listing flyers, a lot of them. We have 40 different versions of them. They will contain a QR code, the text code, a link to the seller landing page. So beautiful listing flyers. All of the property websites are mobile. And this is a great right here. When you're doing a listing presentation, quick pro tip, have the seller scan that QR code. When the seller scans that QR code, that single property website comes up on their phone and it's absolutely beautiful. Now, here's a great thing. With listing leads, you can create these presentations and these flip books for specific listings. So when you've got a listing presentation coming up, you can create this where every image on here is of that property. Does that make sense for everybody? So this flip book right here that we're looking at, this is the general account level flip book that we've got ready to use at any time. But you can create these for specific properties, expireds, FSBOs, regular listing presentations. And in those cases where the seller then scans the QR code, they're looking at their home right on their phone. I talked to a client, newer agent, got a seller lead, and I'll show you the ad that he did a little bit later, but got a seller lead off of an ad, connected with them, showed them the flip book for their property, got the listing. And it was so easy for him because he just walked through the flip book like I am with you, but obviously in the context of presenting it to a homeowner. So mobile marketing, great page. And again, that QR code is what you want to have the homeowner scan. All right, there's another QR code there. So we talk about mobile marketing and then we got the QR code. So either way, they can scan either one. Then we got reach and frequency, talking about how we're going to be across multiple channels at every stage of the listing for maximum exposure. Now, this is really cool. So we had a client and he's presenting this. And when he gets to the part here where it says coming soon, and then they got just listed, open house, active, pending, marketing to sold. So let me back up real quick. So when he got to this page here for the coming soon, and he was presenting on a tablet, right? So the homeowner and the agent, and he pulls out a notebook and he starts writing down dates because he had known that the seller, right, and talking to the seller, he found out the seller wanted to be moved by whatever it was, July, let's say. And so he backtracked. If we want to be moved by July, then we need to make sure that we list it by April because of average days on market and then the contract and escrow and everything. And we want to make sure we have time to get the property ready. We want to do the open houses and the coming soons if you're able to do that like he was. So this part right here was a very natural flow to pulling out a notebook and writing down tentative dates. All right, for when do we want to do coming soon? If you don't do coming soon, then you tell the seller we won't be doing coming soon, but we do just listed, and we should do just listed based on what you've told me about wanting to move. We write to start with just listed marketing on May 4th would be a great time to get that started. So we should sign the listing agreement today. So that way we've got a week and a half to get ready for your property to start being marketed. And then he talked about doing an open house. And again, if that's not something you do, you just let them know you don't do an open house, or you do an open house if they want to. Then obviously we're going to talk about active marketing, pending. And this is really powerful. When you're talking to a homeowner and you let them know that, listen, just because your property goes into contract doesn't mean we're going to stop marketing it. We're going to keep marketing your property until all contingencies are removed and until your home is sold. Now, for you as an agent, the pending and the just sold marketing are the two best statuses for getting seller leads. But for the homeowner, the benefit is we're not going to stop marketing your property like most agents do. All right. Most agents, as soon as that listing goes into contract, they just forget all about the fact that the property still has a lot of value to market to both the homeowner and to you as an agent. And one more thing, and the ones that you prepare specifically for a listing presentation, all of this will be your brand colors all the way through. You got traffic reports, and then you can see here the next to the last page, please check my reviews. So if you got your client reviews set up in listing leads, you'll have that. If not, you won't. But then we got some PDF guides that we're going to offer to the homeowner, right? 3 great guides. And this really wraps up the whole listing presentation beautifully, right? 12 mistakes to avoid in selling your home, 5 dangers of overpricing your home, and then a first-time home seller's guide. And then boom, we're going to end it up. So you as an agent, you should go through this, and it's right here on the listings page, listing presentation, right there, flip book. And so when you do that, you're a little bit more comfortable. You have a little bit of a bigger picture of what's going on here. Let's go get our listing. So I'm going to mark it. And what happened to my scroll? Let's find out right here real quick. So I got my active listing right here, 4704 Gold Lane in Granite Bay. So again, if you need help getting that listing in your account, let our support team know. I put all of the guides, all the checklists, I uploaded them into the control panel. So they're right here, you'll see download checklist. So if you need the checklist, click download right here. And that's just going to walk you through all the items on the left-hand side. So if I click here, all right, active marketing leads in checklist. So just a one pager to make sure that you go through and get all of this done. If we do this, we should be generating between 18 to 106 buyer leads and 10 to 20 seller leads. And just work your way down the list. Talking to a client about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she's, I love just clicking down that list and just getting everything done so fast. And I said, you know what? That's awesome. So here you can see, here's my Facebook ad. This will be a Facebook lead ad. It's going to autofill location, although that's editable. Got a radius of 15 miles, right? Special housing ad category. Lifetime budget of $35. That's only default. I'll come back to that in a minute. Start and end date for this ad will be 1 week. This will be a Facebook lead ad by default, although that is editable as well. So it's going to capture name, email, phone number, and purchase time frame. And notice I say here deal of the week. So I've got everything labeled on this as deal of the week. Now, if it's your listing and you're just marketing an active listing, then that would say for sale by default. But if you want to edit that, you can edit it a couple of different ways. One, click edit, and where it says custom status banner, notice I got deal of the week. So deal of the week here. And you can also upload your professional photos, put in your videos, your 3D tours for the listing, or you can add all that great content for your listing and listings to leads. So as I was mentioning before, we got the location, a lifetime budget of 35. Now 35 is only a minimum. I would put in 50 if you've got the budget for it. All right, if you got the budget for $50, I would do that. The leads are coming in on the average between $3 to $4 on average. As low as our better clients are doing, they do $2 to $3. There are some people that are doing it for, it's ridiculous. In fact, I just saw yesterday $1.10 per lead. All right, now that's nothing I would market or advertise as a company as a common result because it's not. But man, they're still out there. So we changed lifetime to $50. And where it says change template, change image video. If I click change template, you'll see here, we've got a bunch of different templates that I can select from. The default template is this one. Larger image on top, 3 images along the bottom. This is the best template. I think this is one of the best templates in the industry. Whenever people change this template to some custom template they did somewhere else, typically the ads don't perform as well. Agents, too many people love loading up these images with their photo, with their phone number, with their broker logo, with all of this branding stuff. And a lot of times it really just makes the ad kaput, right? It just doesn't perform as well. We want the focus to be on the property. Your image, your branding, everything is on the Facebook page. You don't need to throw all your branding in the photo. So I recommend against it. If you ever read Jordan Cohen's book, The Agent's Edge, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's a phenomenal book. Again, Jordan Cohen's Agent's Edge. Amazing book. But let's say you get to this image and you're like, God, the pictures I've got in here are not that good. There's an edit button. And now I can edit any of these images if I need to. So you can see here, I can click update image, and I can swap out any image I want. And the point here is just make sure this looks good. Sometimes when I see bad performing ads, I've been able to correct them so fast. All right, numerous times, at least once every couple of weeks, a client will ping me and say, oh my God, my ads are performing so badly. What's wrong? And I'll look at the ad and the ad will just either make no sense or the images are absolutely horrendous. Be honest with yourself. If you look at that property, would you click it? Does that look interesting to you? Are you showing, right? Is the image basically a garage door, the driveway, and the street? Then that's not going to perform that well. All right. A garage door is not that enticing. Had a client, she had, sometimes you'll load up your images and you'll put all the front of the property in the front. So she had the first 4 photos of that listing were all the front of the property. And so it was garage door, driveway, street. And so all 4 of these photos, the large one and the 3 on the bottom, of the same image. And so again, you just come in here and just edit these out so that you got a nice, you almost want to tell a story. And I always say, show the most enticing picture on the top. So here you see I've got the backyard, right? Beautifully laid out. And then I got the front of the property here. And I got an inside shot, usually between the kitchen and the living room, right? So we got the back of the house or whatever that best shot of the property is. That should be the first photo here. And it may not be the front of the house, right? Like here you can see it might be the backyard. Then I've got the front of the house, bottom left, beautiful living room and kitchen. So once you get all that good to go, and 9 times out of 10, you won't even have to change anything. You should be good to go. All you got to do is click create ad. So in a perfect world, that literally should take you about 30 seconds to get done. I took longer just to show you some of the edge cases in case you do need to go in there and edit anything. And of course, all that text is editable. You could use a video in the ad if you wanted to. I'll show you how they work. So if I click view for a past ad, and this is how they work online, maybe. Let's try it again. Usually they come up. Sometimes the API, you got to do it a couple of times, or you just have to try it again a little bit later, maybe. But if I go, usually it's the second or third. Yeah, let's try another one. Let's see. And I guess not today. I guess the API is not going to work with us right now. Let's try this one here. Let's see if this one works. Sometimes that can take a few minutes to go live. Oh, there we go. Let's see if this will work. Show ad. And that's the link you can always share with the seller as well. Oh, there we go. All right. So here's what the ad looks like. People click the ad. What is your time frame to buy? So this is all default, right? We got it all set up, name, email, phone number. They're going to click continue. You're going to get the name, email, phone number, and purchase time frame. They're going to go to the single property website automatically. And so they are going to land. They will land on the single property website here that you see. And I've got a video in mind. So you can see here, this is my single property website for my deal of the week. All right, deal of the week, beautiful single property website. I've got a 3D tour in there. My professional photos. My 100-point home marketing plan that people can access. And that's the same. If people fill this out, you should try this on your own website. If people click this and fill this out, they will get the 26-page PDF version of that flip book. So there's a flip book version, there's a PDF version, right? They can download buyer or seller guides. So this is awesome. You can see here they can download the PDF guides right from your single property website. And if you keep scrolling down, you got maps and local, schools, the print brochures. We got the free home value landing page embedded in here so they can get a home value right from here in case they're a homeowner. You got your walk score, all the client reviews. So if you got your client reviews from Zillow, Testimonial Tree, or Google, automatically importing into Listing Leads, not only do you get the client review website, but all your reviews will display here as well. These are some of the best single property websites in real estate. Your other listings, beautiful. You can even got a client review video. So here's a client review video.
Hey, this is Paul Glenn, and we just sold our house.
So awesome stuff, right? So yeah, the single property websites are absolutely beautiful. So that's what the ad's going to link to. All of these tools are going to drive people to that single property website. So here's our social media post. I got Facebook, Instagram, and Google connected. There's also X, and there's also LinkedIn that you can connect to as well. The post can be a carousel or single image. Quick note for the ads, I would never do a carousel. I don't like carousel for ads. I just want that one image, that one template that I showed you. By far, that is better than a carousel ad. I would say 95 out of 100 times. For a social media post, it's fine, right? Because it's free. I'm not paying for a social media post. And when people click through the post, just like the ad, they're going to go right to the single property website. So you can either click post now or schedule. If you need to edit anything, click edit image. You can edit the text, and you can also click to connect your social media accounts if you need to here. But get that posted to your social media. Let's see, here's an example of what it might look like. All right, so we got the image, other images will load up. People click, boom. Just like in the ad, they go right to the single property website. Absolutely beautiful. So get that done. Next up is share on seller social media. So if you are the listing agent, this is one of the best tools. It is so good. All you have to do is click the green send to seller button, add in the seller's email address right here. So write one to whatever, put the salutation. So I got Dear Lauren and Ian. Click send. And then while you got the social media post, there's also the e-flyer. So we want to get this to the seller as well. And the seller is going to absolutely love them because you're going to call the seller up in a second here. But let's just click send a seller here. This will automatically already be inputted from the one above, but go ahead and click send for that one as well. And then what's going to happen now is you are going to be CC'd. And I will bring out both emails. So you as the agent are going to get an email that looks like this, but your version will have your name on it. This will be the version that the seller gets. It'll say, Dear Lauren and Ian, we're doing a lot of great marketing for your home, but the more eyes on your home, the better. And let me bring up the e-flyer and let me pop that out as well. There we go. And so here is the e-flyer. Now here's what you're going to do. You call the seller up, and we got this in the on the step-by-step guide for this, which I'll point out to you here in a little bit. So when you want to get to this later, just pause and rewind if needed, if you're watching the recording on YouTube. But you're going to call the seller up, something like this. Hey, Ian, this is Scott. Want to make sure to let you know that we got your property. We just got the ad out. We're doing all the great marketing for it to our database and all the other great things that we're going to be doing. I sent you something to put up on your Facebook page because in this changing market, we want to make sure that we don't leave any stones unturned. And you likely know people who know people that want to move into the area. All right. Your friends, your neighbors, they know this neighborhood. They know how beautiful it is. And they probably know people that have told them that they would love to live in the area. And so we want to make sure that that you put that on your Facebook page and share that email with people that you know, so that we can make sure that we get all those people, right, get their eyeballs on your property. Again, they may see it on Zillow, they may see it on YouTube, they may see it on my Facebook page. But let's just, if we can, get that up on your Facebook page and share that via email so that all these people are not going to miss the opportunity to buy your home. Right? They have friends in the neighborhood, they got family in the neighborhood. Right? They want to move back closer to old friends, to people they know, and we want to make sure that they see that property is for sale. And the e-flyer and the social media posts obviously link right to the single property website. What I would do is once the seller puts that up on their Facebook page, and I've never heard from a client that a seller didn't love it. Sometimes sellers are not on Facebook and whatever. I've had clients tell me that the seller who's not on Facebook, maybe they're really old or they're just not on Facebook for whatever reason, they'll send it to their family members to post, and their family members post it, and the agents actually get more leads because what happens is people click through the e-flyer just like that. They land on the single property website, and between the automated lead capture like this right here, that will come up. The default, I believe, is 30 seconds. It's completely controllable. You can make it required, you can make it optional. But between that and all the other lead capture opportunities on the single property website, it is a phenomenal way to generate great leads. So looks like I tapped out of my account. So let's log back in. So we got the ad done. We got the social media post done. We did the e-flyer and the social media post for the seller. And let me just navigate back to my listings. And we'll bring up our active listing, i.e. listing of the week. And so we are right here at 4704 Gold Lane. Again, I'm going to click on the green market listing button. And the next thing that's up is a nearby homeowner letter. So this is the letter, and there's JPEG. So in case you want to, in fact, one of the things that we did is we downloaded the JPEG, uploaded it to my mailbox power. And I think Thanks.io has this as well, where we can add QR codes that are dynamic so that every letter that goes to a home has a unique QR code so that when the QR code is scanned, you will know exactly who it was that scanned it, right? You'll know which property scanned it. And so it's absolutely beautiful. People also they'll download and print the PDF and door knock, right? Door knocking with this is awesome. The letter is fully editable. It sits in an editor, but let's just download. You don't, I would say probably 95% of the time, people don't edit this at all. They just leave it as is. And this letter, hope you're having a great week. Want to let you know that 4704 Gold Lane in Granite Bay is for sale. You can get all the information photos by going to here. Now they can also text or scan the QR code here. Then we let them know that when the home is sold, it will affect their home's value. There's a little blurb here that's optional. Toggle that on or off. And then they get their home value here. But as you saw earlier, they get their home value up here as well. So this letter, man, this letter is so amazing. So if it is your listing in particular, I would make sure to either door knock with this or I would mail it to 100 homes around that listing. Again, I can click print mail here. So you can print mail, you can download, you can mail from whatever mail service that you already have a membership with or an account with. I know Dustin Fox, one of our clients, uses Zaire Mail, ZAIR mail.com to mail out this letter. So there's 3 versions of it. And I like to see people using it. Typically, try to use it either as just listed, open house, or active. Try to use it at one of those 3 statuses. So while it's for sale, you want to get that letter out to the homeowners around that listing. When it goes pending and or just sold, you want to use it again. So using it 2 times is, I would say, phenomenal. If you can only do it once or twice, that's fine. But if you can do it 3 times, that's great as well. Because as we know, what is marketing, advertising? It's about repetition of our message, adding value to our audience. So the more that we are in front of our audience with great content, with a great message, the more business we're going to get. And this right here, this nearby homeowner letter is absolutely awesome. And if you think about it in the big picture, with the way the status has changed, it tells a story over the course of the listing to the neighbors. And what do we want from the neighbors? We want to get more listings in that area. Now, if you don't want more listings, then don't use the letter. We also have postcards and door hangers. So in case you want to use a postcard or door hanger, we've got that as well. So you can see here, I've got it. And again, that deal of the week is completely editable. That's just what I added as a custom header. Nor if you're never to touch that, by default, it would just say for sale. I think like for sale in location, like for sale in Granite Bay or whatever it is. But again, I got mine customed out. So we got EDDM, we got the small standards, we got the jumbos, we've got a circle prospecting script. So I want you to make sure, especially if you're going to use the postcards and door hangers, if you got the ability to circle prospect. So if you already got an account with RedX or My Plus Leads, Prospect Boss, any of these types of services, pull that list of people. I would pull the list of people. I would either door knock or mail the nearby homeowner letter, and then I would call through. I would call through. This is a phenomenal script. This script will help you get more conversations going. Of course, what do we want? The more conversations we have, the more business we're going to get again. So the more we stay in touch with people, all right, the more great conversations we have, the more business we're going to get. And this script right here will help you get more conversations going. So take a look at the script, make sure you are using it. All right, with the circle prospecting, we next got the e-flyer for your database. So this will be that we're going to promote that deal of the week to our database. So what we're going to do is I'm going to copy the code and I'm going to go to Follow Up Boss and I'm going to send this out via Follow Up Boss to my database. I can also send it through Listings to Leads. So you can see here's the e-flyer. Right, we got the first 5 photos of the listing will rotate so it looks beautiful there. When people click that link in the e-flyer, they're going to go right to the single property website as we saw previously. Got that beautiful video. If they scroll down and they click here, they're going to go to the home value landing page. People do that all the time as well. So this e-flyer, do not send out your IDX or your MLS or whatever. This is for your reviews. Click for my reviews. So that's your client review website from Listings to Leads. I got all my reviews. Again, people can download my 100-point home marketing plan. So to get this to all of your leads, in Listings to Leads, I can just click what list I want to send it to here. So I could say, I want to send this to all of my leads. Now, I'm not going to send this to everybody, but I'm just showing you how to do it. All right, then I got the send now. I can send a test email, which I always like to send a test email. I can edit the email. So it does say the editor. I can come in here and I can edit whatever I want. And lastly, I can click copy code, go to my CRM, right? So whatever CRM I use, and let me just delete this so we can look at it fresh. And so here in Follow Up Boss, just navigate to where you send out the email. So here's my editor. There's usually a button called Insert HTML, Insert Source. Just click it, paste in whatever it was that you got from Listings to Leads. And oh, that might have been, oh, that was from the previous one I just did, but there we go. So we got the e-flyer right there. So again, just like the one from Listings to Leads, people are going to click, they're going to go right to the single property website, or they click this one and they go to the landing page. But make sure to get that e-flyer to your database out the door. And then call some of the leads in your database. Right? Don't be scared. So many people, I can't believe how many people I talk to that don't call their database. You're not asking people for anything. All you're trying to do is get people used to hearing your voice, used to hearing from you. All right. So that because when you first call them, the likelihood of them being ready to move or buy or sell is pretty low, right? You randomly calling somebody up in your database, you're going to, let's say you pick your 10 buyer leads. You call those 10 buyer leads. The likelihood of the chance of them being ready to buy or sell right now is very low. And that's not our point. Our point isn't to get them to buy right now. Our point here is to find any low-hanging fruit that we can. All right, that does and will happen. But our main goal is to get them used to hearing from us. All right, we want them to get used to hearing from us, because the more they get used to hearing from us, the more they're going to think about us. The more they think about us, the more likely it is they're going to use us. So if we are going to just skip the idea of calling through a database because it doesn't bring immediate business, you're absolutely missing the plot. All right, you're absolutely missing the entire plot of the whole thing, because there's always going to be low-hanging fruit, and we're setting this up for future business. Whether that future is in 2 months, 6 months, or a year, I want to make sure I'm planting the seeds as far ahead as possible so that it's going to be as easy as possible for them to work with me when they're ready. Does that make sense for everybody? please get away from the idea of if it's not immediate business, it doesn't count. We got to plant those seeds. Next up is short form video script. This is an amazing script. Talked to a lot of clients. When they start using our scripts, I had a client, he went from pretty much nothing. All right. He pretty much went from nowhere on social media with his videos to now getting 10 to 15,000 views of video. Not every single video, but quite a few of them. And he gets some with more than 15,000. All right. Using our scripts, because what is the hardest part about doing video? It's not actually doing the video. It's thinking about what to say. And when you go to our marketing calendar, right up here in the top left marketing calendar, we've got short form video scripts pretty much every day of the week, every day of the month. And so this is the script. If you do not know how to use a teleprompter app or you don't know how to do a short form video, click the blue how to use teleprompter app. But what you should do is click the green send button or download if you're logged in on your phone. Send that to yourself. And then if you watch this video here, how to use teleprompter app, if you just click it, in this video, I walk through how to open up that email on your phone. This is the email I just sent to myself with that short form video script, and then get out there. Or even if it's not your listing, if it is your listing, make sure you're doing the video. If it is not your listing, I would still do the video. So take a look at that video there, and I'll walk you through it if you need help with it. But these are the types of videos, they're free to do. All right, they get a lot of great push from the different platforms. Once I do my video, I can upload it to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. All right, those are the 4 major ones I would make sure to upload that video to. You got the single property website, which we don't need to do anything with. We got the virtual tour. And here you got the full screen version. We got some different templates down here. So take a look at that, branded, unbranded versions for both single property website, virtual tour. The open house sign-in form is right here. Now we're not using that because this is not an open house, but we leave this available at all times. I want to make sure that you don't miss it. And you can see here, all these questions are customizable, everything. Next up are the listing flyers. As mentioned earlier, I don't know exactly, but I think we have 40 different templates. We have a lot. So check those out. I can download. And I'm going to show you, if you are the listing agent, make sure you've got, and this is from a client. In fact, this is from a client who does really well. His yard signs actually help him get listings, and he gets deals from his yard sign. And I'll show you how in a second here. But as you can see here, we got the QR code that you can scan. Anybody wants to scan it, go ahead. We've got the text code. So text, in this case, 1003 to 25678. Got the URL. Now we show the URL. We don't expect people to type in the URL, but what we're doing is we're showing, check that URL out, 4704gold.thebestlisting.com. So every listing in Listings to Leads gets that kind of a URL so that, again, your listing just keeps standing out when you market them through Listings to Leads, right? Otherwise you're going to be getting some long URL. You'll have to go buy a custom domain that you're going to have to pay for and use. Excuse me. With Listings to Leads, every listing gets one of these types of domains. We got world's best listing, America's best listing, the best listing, beautiful home for sale, right? A number of different domains that you can use. And so the listing flyer and the sign writers go hand in hand, along with, and I'll show you what I talk about here in a second. This is the sign writer that goes below the arm of the yard sign. And then you should also have the status writer on the top. So yard signs, I'm going to go back to overview. So at the top here it says overview, step-by-step guide. If I click learn more, everything in this guide right here corresponds with the market listing checklist. So if I were to, this video is a past webinar on the same thing. And if you scroll down this, if you're watching this video, it'll be funny for you. All right, there's our Facebook and Instagram ads, right? Little video there from a client talking about what they do. And if I just keep scrolling down, everything is in order. Now there's a bonus here that's not on the list, and that's this right here. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. And in fact, I'm going to give you this link, and I'm going to put that link into the chat. And let me know if you can see that link. And I'm going to copy this one. And so give me a thumbs up or what have you for these two links I just gave you. And they'll walk you through how to do Instagram, Facebook stories. There's a couple of ways you can do them. One is using the script I gave you earlier, and another one is using images. But I want to show you the yard sign. You want to make sure your yard signs look like the image. It's near the bottom because that's where it is on the list. But check this out. And hopefully you can see these. That's the status on the top. So if it's coming soon, just listed, or for sale, or maybe whatever you're going to call it, but you want that status on the top. And then when you have an open house, change it out to open house the week before. When the listing goes pending, you want to get the pending writer up there. So you want your yard sign to have the text sign writer, right? So people can send a text or scan the QR code. And then you also want the listing, you also want to get a plexiglass flyer box. I know it sounds goofy, maybe. For some of you, it's going to sound really goofy, but putting print flyers on that yard sign will actually help you get more listings and more buyers, right? Think of all those people that walk the dog, drive by, right, on their evening walk, their morning walk, whatever it is. And some people just want to pull the flyer. Some people are going to just scan the QR code or send a text. But even if only, and I did a survey a couple of years ago, I should do it again, but it's always about the same. Over 50% of people can attribute deals to doing a yard sign like this. And I think probably another 30 to 40% just don't realize where some of those leads came from that they're getting. But when you got your yard sign decked out like this, it's going to help you get more listings, because when you're in a listing presentation and you're able to talk to the seller about how your yard signs are a step above everybody else's, right? They don't have a way, nobody's going to dial the agent's 10-digit number. You know that. In fact, I would say that to the homeowner. I'm like, nobody's going to call the agent directly. Have you as a homeowner? And if that does happen, that's fine. My phone number will be on the yard sign. What's more likely to happen is people just want to get the information. So on the yard sign, I'm going to have a sign writer that people can send a text to get the mobile property website for your home delivered right to their phone. I'm also going to put listing flyers on the yard sign. So people that don't want to send a text, they can just take a listing flyer. And on the listing flyer, there'll be a couple of different ways for them to get to your property website. So again, it's how do I differentiate myself in a way to the seller so that I get more listings quicker, easier, and faster, and get more opportunities to engage local buyers and homeowners. So get your yard sign, and once you've got the sign writer, you can move that sign writer from one listing to the next. So when that listing sells, I'm just going to move that sign writer to the next listing. A few more things that we've got here under the sign writers are blog post HTML. If you got a blog somewhere or a custom page at your website and you want to put an embed, you can. And so let's give it a second here. There's 8 to 10 different templates here. There you go. So you can see different templates. And this will be all to your brand colors. Look at that, right? Deal of the week. We've got Craigslist. There's a QR code, traffic report, and then the YouTube listing video. Now, there's nothing you need to do with the YouTube listing video. And I don't like sometimes people will put that YouTube listing video on the single property website. I don't like it. This video here is more of a YouTube SEO play. So again, as I mentioned before in the beginning of this call, that this YouTube listing video from Listing to Leads is going to help you get another spot on page one of Google. So as much as I can knock out other agent websites, other broker website, other vendor websites, the better. Right? I want to be on page one of Google, not them. And so this video will help you do that. And the video will actually link back to in the description. We'll have the single property website link so people can link right to the single property website from this video. All right. Anything, I will have to do another video for the price reduce. I apologize. I did not get a chance to talk about the price reduce landing page. Get into the mastermind group. Let me know if you want me to do a video on that. I'll try to get a video out a little bit later today, maybe on that price reduced. But any questions for me? A lot of people love seeing so many people on the call, so thank you for joining us. But any questions before we go? And I'll tell you what, don't forget your affiliate link. If you click refer and earn, I think all you have to do is there'll be a spot to put in your PayPal email, and was it 15% recurring, no caps, no limits. We've had people making thousands of bucks a month from their affiliate link. It's absolutely awesome. And now that we increase our prices, which is good for you in a sense. So if you're already a client of ours, congratulations on coming in at $60 or whatever it is that you may be coming in the past. But regardless, whether you came in at 95 or in an earlier price, start using your affiliate link. You got marketing invites here, so I can send an email. All right, if you got a group or a downline, in fact, if you got a downline, we've got downline accounts where the team leader can actually have an account, and then every agent under them can get listing leads for $30 a month. So the great thing about the downline account is the team leader doesn't have to pay. They pay $200 a month for the account, but they're not paying per agent. The agent, right, in their downline, the benefit to the agent is they get listings to leads for a little bit, for more than half off. So it's a great opportunity. So if you got a downline, this could be phenomenal. But again, if you got a group or if you just got some people that you know, again, you can share the email. So there's an e-flyer for the affiliate. There is a social media post that you can use, and it'll link right to your affiliate. It'll link, excuse me. It will link to your affiliate link automatically. And there's also a print flyer if you need that for some reason. Any questions? There might be. Tanner, great question. Hold on one second here. Let me see. Tanner, are you still there? Perfect. Okay. Tanner, what that is, if you go to landing pages, that is just my free home values landing page where I edit it. So if I click grid view, that might be what you recognize better. So see this landing page right here, free home values? If I click view, that's going to be what you're referring to. And back here, edit, and you'll bring up the editor, give it a second here. And then from here on the left-hand side, background, image, video, solid color, formed fields. So I went right from the top to the bottom just because this is where, let's see, where is, oh, I'm sorry. What am I doing? Lead form text. Apologize for that. So lead form text, right? That's the text on the page. Right there, you can see name your home price. That's the text on the top. Then we've got the text under description. So you can see that corresponds with this text right here above the lead form. And then the headline text, no commitment, no pressure. That's right below the lead form. And then the tagline is top on the top, instant and free. Make sense, Tanner? Awesome. So yeah, I will try and endeavor to get the list of price reduced homes for sale video out a little bit later today. I am going to be doing more training on that regardless anyways. So in fact, that might be one of the lives that I do this week. All right, everybody. Let's see, one more question maybe. Yep. Awesome, Tanner. Thank you. All right, everybody. Get into the mastermind group. I want to hear from you. So give us some feedback in the mastermind group. What are you thinking about? How can we be of help? And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.